Hello and welcome to the third game of the St. John's College Festival. And up now is Daniel Pienaar taking on Florida. And this is going to be an interesting encounter. Both sides have already played a few games this season. Daniel Pienaar have won 3 out of 3. They beat Queens 36-24. They beat Burgersdorp 48-19. They then beat an Argentina side 42-28. While Florida, well, they've played a host of games, winning 5 out of 6. And they actually played 2 days ago, beating Standerton 48-31. And with me in the commentary box is Brendan Liebenberg. Brendan, good afternoon.
Well, how's it? And we've got a little entertainment beforehand, so let's see what they've got in store for us.
Well, what a way to get this game underway. And it's an unpredictable game to call because both sides, as we've mentioned, have won a few games already this season, and it could go any way here. And if you're a betting man, well, I think you'd be at a bit of a loss here.
Personally, I'd have no idea which team's better at this stage, so let's check out the first 5 or 10 minutes and make a decision from there, but sometimes that doesn't tell the full story. Let's just hope it's tight regardless. From a commentating point of view and, of course, a supporter's point of view, you want to see nice, tight games. I did notice yesterday at Noordzijde that some of the defences weren't great, but we saw phenomenal attacking rugby. And that's what festivals are all about. We want to see tries, so here we go.
Touring with the kickoff. Played Craven Week last year for Eastern Province. And Florida inside their own half. And it's a penalty to Daniel Pienaar. So it'll be interesting to see, Brendan, what they do here. They could have a shot at goal. And Touring is going for the ball. Just await the call. And they're going to have a shot at goal. So just to mention, the players to watch in the Florida team is definitely the big man, Brandon Jankovic. He's as tall as Andries Becker, 2.08 meters, and he weighs 130 kilograms. And then they also have Tino Swanepoel, the fullback, who played Craven Week for the Lions last year. So a lot of talent on display as Daniel Pienaar line up for a penalty.
Well, he's also wearing a lime green scrum cap, so certainly easy to spot on the field. And I suggest that Daniel Pienaar should be good in the lineouts. You should hope so with a guy that tall. But here we go. Can Daniel Pienaar literally kick off the point scoring? And no, not quite there. So still no score on the board for either side. Florida with the 22 kick out.
So Daniel Pienaar, well, if it is a deep kick, they'll have a chance to launch a counter attack. Big number 8, Marco Goos. He looks like a prospect and a quality player. And it goes to Goos. And he finds his fullback, Brown. A little dab ahead. So this is pressure now for Florida. It's neatly done. And that's a great run by Tino Swanepoel. Doing well to just relieve some pressure. And Florida will be looking to clear their lines. But their forward who picks it up has other ideas, trying to gain some valuable meters. And there's an advantage here for Zadenotes with the toe ahead, and they get the penalty. So very difficult to really say who has the upper hand at the moment in these opening 3 minutes. Brendan?
Yeah, we'll give it a few more plays, make a proper judgment there. But personally, I would have gone for the corner. Considering he's a left-footed kicker, it would have made it more difficult for himself from that angle. Rather stick it in the corner and start the try scoring at this festival. At the end of the day, I'd like to see the coaches rather encouraging attacking play. I know that they're under pressure to win every game they play, but these festivals should be about scoring tries and using those plans that they've been working on.
So it's going to be McQuire with the feed to the lineouts. And can he find his jumpers so that Florida can launch an attack, and they go for the sneaky maneuver, and it's play on. That ball's gone forward as they approach the 22. It is slow, but here we go. It's a good carry from Florida as they look to get the ball wide through Boyson. The number 10 flings it away to Roberts, and there's danger. Van Bouillon, great offload there. And here's another massive, massive boy. Difficult to bring down. Good defense by Daniel Pienaar. They go right. And here's the tight head prop, Andries van Aspergen, a big 109 kilos. Gee whiz, there's some big boys in the side, and it's a penalty. What are they going to do here, Brendan?
Well, I hope they go for the corner. Come on, Florida. Let's see your intent. Brandon Roberts there. Reminds me of the Frenchman Mathieu Bastereau. Huge units, but they do tap and go.
There's that man, Brandon Jankovic. My goodness, he is huge. And here we go, Florida sniffing a chance to get the opening score. Can they deliver? Swanepoel, and that pass, well, it's gone back. But my goodness, Brandon Jankovic. Have you ever seen a player that big at schoolboy level, Brendan?
I'm sure there has been, but I can't think of one on the top of my head. You'll probably find Bucky's Buerta was about that big at school.
Something pretty interesting is that this Florida pack, Brendan, they weigh 840 kilograms, and that's an average of 105 kilos per player. And just also look at the number 12. I mean, if these players can get the ball in their hands, they're going to get over the advantage line. And I can almost say they're going to send it to their big players here, and it's going to be difficult for Daniel Pienaar to stop. They go right, unpredictable, and they've lost it. Can you believe it? And Daniel Pienaar, well, that's relief for them, Brendan.
Absolutely. They had that. The corner was there for the taking, and unfortunately, if they just had one man there, they could have worked it through their hands, but the loopy pass, I think, just threw the receiver off, and the defender actually did well in kind of getting in the way. But Florida should have had the first try of the match. Now Daniel Pienaar will have to clear their lines.
So it's going to be Edwards to feed, under pressure here. And he's going to seek comfort. And that's good stuff by Daniel Pienaar, but they've lost the ball, trying to just relieve some pressure before the kick. And here Florida come. Swanepoel, the Craven Week star, gets the offload. That is brilliant stuff. And look at that. Brandon Roberts with the opening score in the fixture. The big man's over, Brendan.
At 103 kgs, he was never going to be stopped there. He's almost as heavy as the average forward in his team. I'm feeling quite small at the moment here, weighing a measly 70 kgs as I do, with these youngsters who are in some cases half my age. But well done, Florida. They got the turnover there on the 5-meter line, some good work on the ground, and spun it out wide, used the overlap in the corner, and the team from Gauteng have opened the scoring, and can they add another 2?
It's a difficult kick here for Florida. And if he can get this over, it'll be valuable to make it 7-0 for his side. And he's dragged that to the left. So a great start for Florida. Tino Swanepoel just couldn't convert, but he's been pretty exciting, Brendan, so far.
Well, he did very well there. He went down to ground, but he kept the ball alive, popping the ball up to his massive inside center, And that's the name of the game, keeping the ball alive. As long as you keep the ball moving, you're eventually going to score.
Daniel Pienaar with the restart. And it's contestable, but that wasn't an issue at all for Florida. And they got numbers on the left if they can get quick hands. Good offload there. And here's danger. Roberts, the big man again. It's a 3-on-1. And they let that go, but fortunately it went back. So a chance to restart. And for Florida to have another go. Big run there by Ricardo Broek. Up the middle. Boyson. And it's a penalty there to Florida. Will they have a shot at goal?
I hope not. I think they should go for the touchline here. I think there's a slight wind. He didn't have too much power on that, but of course he's proven me wrong, as usual.
Well, let's see what Swanepoel can do here. As mentioned earlier, in that Craven Week side for the Lions in 2017. And then also on the bench for Florida is Damien Kalitz, who made the Academy Week side. So quite a lot of talent in this Florida side. Can Swanepoel lengthen the lead for his team to 2 scores as we approach the 10th minute of the game. Swanepoel. It's sailing and it's over. Great kick. You'll be happy with that, considering his miss earlier.
Well, good strike there from Brown. I think there's, Swanepoel. I think there's a slight wind against Florida, so he did well there, got nice height, and comfortably reached the crossbar. So Florida certainly making a statement here in the first 10 minutes. Daniel Pienaar with the kickoff.
Touring. Florida are doing well at restart time. And there's Bezuidenhout with the box kick. And it's a chance for Daniel Pienaar to have a bit of a run. That's Jacobs with the offload. And unfortunately, it's an unforced error there. Forward pass. And it's a scrum down to Florida. So this big 840 kilogram machine, it's going to be interesting to see how Daniel Pienaar handle the scrum, because if Florida get on the front foot here, it could be tickets, Brendan.
Well, I suppose the only thing working for them is that you can only scrum 1.5 meters in schoolboy rugby, so that does help. But either way, Florida should get the upper hand here, but sometimes it is about technique.
So here we go, Roberts again. Back to Boyson. Good defense shown by Daniel Pienaar. Slow ball. And Roberts, well, he almost looks like a lock forward in the center position. The mammoth. And there's a big run by the hooker, McQuire. Good run. Florida getting some momentum. Swanepoel with a good flat pass there to his left wing, Lakawang. This is very positive here from Florida. They look to get the ball out wide. Swanepoel popping up at first 5/8, and they look to go right. The big number 8, Bosman, deciding to go on his own. And there's the number 3, who flings it out to Boyson. Interesting chip, but the number 9, Darian Edwards, does well. That's good stuff from Florida. Not too sure about that kick from the number 9, but here we go, Brendan.
And Daniel Pienaar cleared their lines. That's a good kick downfield. It will land in field and go out. So a really good clearance there. Going deep into Florida territory. Yep, sometimes you just need to keep the ball in hand. Florida had been doing really well up to that point. And unless there's no defense at the back, like that situation, rather keep the ball in hand. They've been certainly making ground, so there's no reason not to back yourself.
So it's going to be Barnard with the throw in. And can he find his tall timber in the line-out? Patience is the name of the game. And that's a neat throw-in again. Physical stuff out here at St. John's, and it's a penalty. So a chance for Florida to relieve some pressure. And you can definitely see that Florida have played 6 games this year, only losing 1 against Secunda, but they look like a drilled engine here, Brendan.
Well, that's it. So far in these festivals, you'd see the teams that start the game well and generally win are the ones that have played more rugby. And there's no substitute for game time and experience. But of course, late in the season, that might come back to bite them. Florida's line out on the halfway line. I was a referee at one stage, and you always try to get the line out on the line. Helps with the angles.
So Maguire with the feed. Perfect line out there. And Brandon Jankovic, the big man, with the ball. Boyson fires it away to his left wing, and here's trouble. Swanepoel blistering down the right wing, the fullback, and he's still going. That is pure class from the fullback. In the red zone again. They will look to strike. And they are in a mean and hungry mood of Florida. The big boys playing their parts. Boyson finds the hooker. And here's a chance. And it's Lakwawang who finishes on the left ring for Florida.
Well, that's what wingers do. He stepped back inside and had no resistance once he had beaten the defender. A really good drive from Liesel there. He came in field a little. He did have men on his outside, but he backed his step, backed his pace. And Florida are looking good here. They've got the goods, and some of their forwards are showing that they aren't just big, but they've also got good hands.
That was a beautiful off-road there by Tyron Maguire, which set up that try. And Swanepoel with a chance to make it 15-0 after 16 minutes. Easy as you like, slots it through. Florida showing that they've only lost 1 game out of 6 this season. Daniel Pienaar, they need to get their hands on the ball. Brendan?
Well, Florida going at a point a minute at the moment. Certainly showing that extra game time they've had this season is bearing fruit. Let's hope Daniel Pienaar can reclaim this kickoff and work through a few phases.
Sashin Touring with the kickoff. And that's lost forward. And I must say that the kickoffs at this festival have been absolutely brilliant. Virtually every kick we've seen has been contestable, and it's great to see. And now it's going to be interesting to see if Daniel Pienaar can just build up some momentum here, Brendan, because they're really lacking it at the moment.
Despite the weight disadvantage in the previous scrum, I thought they held their own. So let's see how this scrum goes. Florida definitely getting the push on there. The referee blowing the whistle. Looks like the front rows went up there. The referee's taking no chances with any issues in the scrums.
Well, Tyron Maguire is also a massive character, 113 kilograms, and he offloads like a wizard as well. So here we go. Approaching the 18th minute mark, and look at that engine go from Florida. And fortunately, Daniel Pienaar still have the ball, but I mean, it must be pretty difficult to stop, Brendan.
No, Florida definitely using that weight advantage. And the ball doesn't get turned over, so they should get that ball out as quick as they can when they get the tight head.
So, Edwards with the feed. Can Daniel Pienaar get the scrum right? It's a better one from them. Here they go. This is good movement. And overlap on the right. Now, can they execute? That is the question. Good run by Byron Fontaine there, but he was met in a hard tackle. And here come Daniel Pienaar for their first time in the game to actually cash in as they go blind. Perfect chance here. And it's been spilt, but we're going to come back for the penalty. The number 9, Darian Edwards, is rushing for that ball, but it looks like they're going to settle things down.
Yeah, Daniel Pienaar finally on the attack. I thought some of their players passed a bit early there. They should concentrate on drawing the man and then putting the wing away. But hopefully they'll learn, and here we go. Interesting move there, but it's knocked on. And Florida have possession.
Play on, and it's a try for the number 12, Boshoff. So the two inside centres of both sides have won the game, and have scored a try, and Daniel Pienaar are back in this game.
Well, interesting there, of course, Daniel Pienaar did knock the ball on, but the referee must have adjudged that Florida had enough advantage with the ball going down the back line there. I think most refs would probably have called that back because they hadn't really moved further down the field. So interesting call, but hey, Daniel Pienaar at this point need to take what they can get. And as a spectacle, that's good for the game.
So can Turing get some valuable extras for his side to make it 15, plays 7 with just over 9 minutes to go in the first half. Turing straight through, wonderful kick from the number 10.
That was certainly sweet. He kicked that at least 10 meters over the top of the uprights, which often makes it a bit difficult for the assistant referees, but 15-7 to Florida at this point. Daniel Pienaar hitting back. The first time they've really been down in Florida territory, and they've struck. So let's see how Florida respond.
Swanepoel. Another good kick. Daniel Pienaar this time lucky to get that back. There's a bit of a fumble there. And that was terrific footwork there. A slip from Sashin Turing. And that's a snipey little move around the fringes by the number 9, Edwards. And there's Barnard with the carry. Daniel Pienaar settling down nicely as they look to send it out wide to their big men. They're tall timber. And Florida, that's good work on the ground. That is superb, and they've got the penalty. Will be interesting to see what they do.
Once again, good work on the ground from Florida. They realize what an important aspect of the game that is. If you can stay on your feet and get over the man who's gone down to ground. Most of the great teams have had great fetches. And they've won the penalty. I would suggest that Daniel Pienaar, at this stage at least, not run from inside their own half. Rather kick it into the corners, get down into Florida territory, just like they did just now. And at least, unless you're chasing the game in the last few minutes, rather don't take those chances because Florida will hurt you.
Swanepoel. and that one drifts to the right. And also, Brendan, Daniel Pienaar, what's lingering on the other side of this fixture for them is the mighty Maroon Machine Polaris on Saturday. So they will desperately want to get some momentum in this fixture, because what we saw from Polaris about a half an hour ago was absolutely sublime. And look at this from Pienaar. Daniel Pienaar now with a chance. There's numbers on the left. Beautiful play here. There's the try scorer, Boshoff, but he filters into touch.
Well, you have to commend Daniel Pienaar. They're not lying down, keeping the ball in hand. They could easily have drop kicked that way downfield, but they want to play with the ball. So as a spectator, that's what you want to see.
Alton Yankees played for Florida. And Florida get it back. And he has a chance for Swanepoel, and he'll be devastating and difficult to stop from here. Good defense by Boshoff, the number 12 of Daniel Pienaar. And there's the big number 4, Kutsia. 94 kgs, and it's turned. Daniel Pienaar, they'll be dangerous from here. Terrific footwork from Turing. Also can play scrum off, and you saw that there. And now a great steal. This could be trouble. The number 12, the big man, is down. Roberts.
Great work on the ground initially from the Eastern Province side. And then Turing showing his speed and his feet there. But then, of course, Florida, for the third time in the match, stealing the ball on the ground again. I think the referee just stopped play there because of the injury. So Florida will probably have the scrum when play resumes. The massive inside centre of Florida, who I said kind of reminds me of Bastereau, the big French inside centre.
The crazy thing is Bastereau is another 30 kilograms bigger than him. But we come back for the penalty. And we just want to thank Standard Bank again for making this wonderful event possible. It's a picturesque scene here at St. John's. And what an atmosphere. It gives you goosebumps, Brendan.
Well, it certainly does. And of course, the big match tonight, St. John's versus Hoërkool under lights, is going to be an absolute cracker. The home team versus a team from down the road, so you should expect it to be packed.
And the amount of quality rugby, quality schoolboy rugby going on at this Easter weekend, with the North-South Festival that started yesterday, some big results then, and also the Kersney Festival and the Saints Festival happening, and the Kes Festival. You wish you could just be at all festivals and watch all the games. And here we go. Maguire is going to have to work hard, the big man. Terrific handling there. And it's been turned. Daniel Pienaar, that was a tough one for them to turn over. And there's numbers on the left, an opportunity here. Boshoff sends it wide. And this is tremendous running by Hannes. Good play from the number 13, and Edwards goes blind. This is beautiful stuff from Pienaar. Daniel Pienaar showing what they can do. And that's a pity, because that was very promising from Daniel Pienaar, Brendan.
The ball going through 6 or 7 sets of hands there. They're trying to keep the ball alive at all costs. Unfortunately, the ball hitting the ground there. The scrum off unable to control it. But they are on the Florida 22. So if they put the scrum under pressure, or at least the fly half is probably going to try clear his lines. If they can force his kick to stay within the 22, they'll be back on attack.
So, Tony Bazadenoit with the feed. And then Sheen with a great scrum. Swanepoel with the clearance.
The ball just a couple meters outside the 22. I would suspect it should be Daniel Pienaar's ball. Yes, it is. So, a good attacking opportunity. A few minutes left in this first half.
This will be the time for Daniel Pienaar to put the hammer down. As the number 4, Cup, secures that line out, and here goes the Sherman tank. Look at this from Daniel Pienaar. Barnstorming run there from the tall timber. Darian Edwards. And look at this from the number 10, Toring. Lovely footwork, but good defense by Florida. Edwards, he'll have a go himself. Edwards, just short. So close. Try time. Daniel Pienaar back in the game, Brendan, and who comes up with it there? What a way to get back into the game.
Well, brilliant from Daniel Pienaar there, keeping the ball alive again. Their inside backs coming back inside both times. The scrum half inches away. And eventually, the man with the green scrum cap,
Cholden Cup, great play by the lock forward, and he's brought his side back into the game. 14 plays 15 in the way of Florida over Daniel Pienaar.
great work from our cameraman there. Catching a nice close-up for us.
Helping the brother out. Swanapool.
Is that going to go 10? Just not 10. And after conceding the try, that's a silly error from Florida. They'll now have the scrum on the halfway line, moving a bit away from the centre of the field because of the cricket pitch. So Daniel Pienaar only 1 point behind with a few minutes left in the first half. I know at the start of every season they always talk about the scrum halves putting the feet in straight, and for the first couple of weeks they monitor it, but then...
So will Daniel Pienaar play the joker card? And they do. This could be danger. Great play by Hannes as they look to take the lead before half time, but it's scrappy and Barnard has to go back. This is wonderful stuff from both sides. Edwards, well, he's been outstanding. Touring back on the inside to Hannes, the number 13, who's really come into this game, but he's in a tough position there with the choke tackle. Florida, their big engine again doing well. The ref is letting it play on.
All Florida have to do is keep the ball off the ground if it goes down. And there you go, turnover, so that should be the half.
And Brendan, well, it can't really be tighter than this. 15 plays 14. It was a great start from Florida. You could see that they played 6 games this season. Daniel Pienaar struggled in the opening 20 minutes, but they fought back well. And what an encounter we have here today.
Absolutely. Only 1 point behind Daniel Pienaar at halftime. And really looking forward to the second half. Daniel Pienaar will definitely go into the second half with their tails up. And they've shown if you keep the ball in hand, like they have, and you play on the right side of the field, the tries are there for the taking. A couple of missed tackles from both teams, but as I said earlier, rather see tries than tough defense. I think South African rugby needs quality, creative, attacking players, and especially at a festival, that's what it's all about. So an exciting first half so far.
We'll catch you in a few minutes for the start of the second half. We saw 4 wonderful tries. See you in a bit.
Everybody, raise your glasses. I just want to say how proud I am of my wife. I don't care that you didn't finish. I mean, I saw you train so hard. You may not be an Ironman, okay? But you will always be my schnookums.
Welcome back to the second half of the third game. We have Florida leading Daniel Pienaar 15 points to 14. And we saw 4 great tries. Daniel Pienaar scoring 2 unanswered tries in the last 15 minutes of this first half through Boshoff, the inside centre, and then the lock forward Cup. And then for Florida, we saw 2 tries in the opening 15 minutes through Roberts, the big centre, and then Lakawang, the left wing. We're about to get underway here through Tino Swanepoel, who has been brilliant for Florida.
A good take from Daniel Pienaar there, but Florida quickly onto the man, bring him down in the 22-meter line, should be able to kick this directly out, except they run. That's been the way they've played so far, Daniel Pienaar. They just keep the ball in hand. Great festival rugby. They might have to kick the ball this time. No going to rumble it up, it seems, especially when it goes to the loose head prop. And they keep running. They're out of their 22. Kicks it over the top. Daniel Pienaar, their right winger, onto the ball. Good save at the back there from Tino Swanepoel. He gets to his feet and keeps going. Brilliant from Swanepoel. Takes the tackle. Support arrives.
So here we go. Florida. That's beautiful stuff from them. And they still have it. Trying to get some valuable points here just after half time. They feed it to Boyson. And the tight head prop.
Referee's going to his pocket. And that's a yellow card for a deliberate knockdown. Certainly no attempt to catch the ball there. I often feel sorry for players because I think they generally do intend to catch the ball for the intercept. But you can see there was no attempt at knocking the ball down, and Florida going for poles.
And also, it was key there because if that ball got away from Van Arsvegen, it would have been danger, and Fontaine on the right wing for Florida could have been in the right-hand corner.
I think as a defender, you need to weigh up your options. I think you could see the overlap, and you realize if I don't go for this, Florida will be in for their third. So sometimes giving away the 3 is the better option, but being off for 10 minutes is a huge disadvantage.
Poison. And you could see immediately as he kicked that, he was disappointed. So Daniel Pienaar with a chance to relieve some pressure.
Well, for now they've survived that. No damage to the scoreboard, but let's see how they hold out with 14 men for the next 9 minutes. Yeah, you could hear that strike wasn't great. Whether it's a cricket bat or a golf club or a boot, you can generally hear when it's nice and sweet.
Great 22 restart, and it's in the big man's hands. Broch. Strong carry there, but good defense by Daniel Pienaar as Florida look to launch an attack. Great offload there by Boyson, who finds his prop forward, Oberholzer. Here they go, Boyson again with a great offload, and this could be trouble in the making, but it's gone forward and he can come back for the penalty here.
Swanepoel again coming great into the line. Unfortunately, the ball just going forward, but he's certainly shown his attacking ability. The referee just consulting with the assistant referee, and we could be looking at a tip tackle here. Just a warning from the referee, no, the man being taken out, his feet taken out. So they maintain their 14, would have been a disaster to go to 13. Quick tap and go from Florida.
Here they go, through the big man, Van Arsvegen. He looks like he has a bag of tricks. Great run by the tight head prop. And good run by the Jager. This will be a great time to score in the game. It's the big man, Maguire. Good defense. Daniel Pienaar. A meter away. And it's the big man, and he's over. Brink Bosman. Great try by the 102 kilogram eighth man.
I think Roberts was calling for the ball out there. I think he most certainly would have been over with probably only one defender there, but the eighth man decided to go himself, and that's their third. And I think it's safe to say that being one man down has hurt Daniel Pienaar.
Indeed it has. And it could just be a killer blow for Daniel Pienaar at a crucial time in the game. So can Swanepoel add some distance between Florida and Daniel Pienaar? It was a good effort by Daniel Pienaar to try charge down the kick.
They weren't successful with that, but seemed to clip Swanepoel. Hopefully he's all right, because he's certainly been a star in this match so far. 22-14.
Brendan, do you think Daniel Pienaar have what it takes to get back in this game, considering they have a yellow card?
I think if they can hold out for the next 5 minutes, they might have a chance, but they don't want to concede again while they're down to 14. Nice height on the kick there, but it's gone directly out. That is most certainly not what they needed after conceding and being down to 14. And Florida will get the scrum on the halfway line.
So the subs come on for Daniel Pienaar. Looks like Mandisi Jam and Timothy van Heerden coming onto the field. And can these replacement players just give them some fresh legs and momentum to try, just get in touching zone of Florida? So, Bezeda note, the scrum off with the feed, and they go blind through Bosman. Good play from the number 8, offloading it, and here they go. Good work as they look to be lethal. Hard running by Florida as they get the ball wide, and that's gone forward, and this could be danger. The toe ahead if this stays in play, but it's gone into touch.
Unlucky there. He saw the space, but he just didn't quite have the angle. Luckily for him, it did land infield. But Florida will have the line out. The men's replaced for Daniel Pienaar were Tiaan van Tonder and Julian Skuman. And there was immediately the two men came on. Had a good impact in the scrum. Florida did get it away, but it wasn't easy. So we'll see how that progresses.
Maguire with the feed. And Florida, well, they almost lost that ball. And it'll be interesting to see what they do from here. They let it go to their quick men. Out wide, that's the big centre, Brandon Roberts, the try scorer. The big number 12. And they look to clear. And the left wing has to backtrack. And that is a great kick there by Boyson.
It's always great to see teams trying to run from their own 22, but that's what a fly half's for, the general, to see the space, kick it downfield, and they're far better off on the opposition's 22. Need to sum up the situation. He did exactly that. And now Daniel Pienaar with the defensive line out.
It's a crucial line out of the game for Dan Pienaar to stay in this game. And this is interesting as they look to go wide. Toring with a skip ball. And that's gone forward. And this could be costly because if Florida can get any points here, it might just be a little bit too far with Daniel Pienaar considering they've got the yellow card.
Well, I did notice that Their number 12, Brandon Bossoff, is back on the field, but they're still not in a great position. Interestingly enough, both 12s are Brandons. Brandon Roberts, 21 kgs heavier than his opposite number.
And a further 16 centimeters taller.
Well, Daniel Pienaar with those replacements had a good scrum last time around. Let's see if they can do the same. Didn't see too much wrong with that, but the referee is about 70 meters closer than me, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Daniel Pienaar have produced 2 Springboks, and Dewald Potgieter and Jacques Potgieter as well. Can Florida, and as we say that, it's a penalty, and this is good relief here for Daniel Pienaar. And with 20 minutes to go, if they can just get another score and score next, Daniel Pienaar, it can really go either way.
This is an important kick. The inside center, Bossoff, with the left foot. Should be around the halfway line. No, on the 10-meter line. Before that, actually. And what will they do from this point on? Will they run it? Chances are they will. They've been doing that so far. They are 8 points behind, playing a bit of catch-up. A good take by this. A bit scrappy at the back there, but they got the ball back. But 10 meters behind the advantage line now.
Barnard having to do the dog work there, the number 2. And telling times for Daniel Pienaar. Edwards, they go left, and they're going to go for the counter attack from deep inside their own half. And Jacobs doing well there on the left wing. They fling it away. No intention of kicking from Daniel Pienaar. Edwards to ring, a loose pass. I mean, a comeback for the penalty, and this could be trouble again now, Brendan.
Yellow card to the Florida fly half.
And that must be deeply frustrating for the coaching staff.
I presume that was for. Struggling to see what he got the yellow card for. But either way, he's been influential. He's got a great boot on him. I don't know who else would be taking the kicks in the Florida team. But the shoe's on the other foot now. 8 points behind. And for the next 10 minutes, they've got that man advantage. So if ever there was a time to strike, it's now for Daniel Pienaar.
It's a perfect time for Daniel Pienaar to put the hammer down here and get a 5 or 7 pointer in this time with the man off from Florida. So Barnard with the feed. It's missed time then, it's a turnover. And Iago, Florida, through Bosman. Tino Swanepoel, as dangerous as ever. And Lacroix, the try scorer, the number 11 for Florida. Almost losing the ball there. Almost an intercept, and here goes the tight head prop again. Van Arsbergen, he's been everywhere. Plays with a lot of flair, and it's a turnover. And here come Daniel Pienaar. They have numbers on the left. They can get quick hands. Terrific work. Look at this from the number 11. Denver Jacobs is gonna cash in. And this is wonderful scenes at St. John's. Daniel Pienaar back in the game with 15 minutes to go.
They literally had 7 or 8 meters to work with on the left-hand touchline. They got the ball through 5 sets of hands, gave it to the quick man, and Denver Jacobs was never going to be caught. He sailed in from the halfway line. Quick hands is what it's all about. You see the New Zealand teams do that, and it's great to see South Africans keep the ball alive. The 2 points will be a formality, and we've got a 1 point ball game.
Terrific stuff. And it just shows you some foul play from Florida, letting Daniel Pienaar back into the game. And that could have just been the extra player difference there. Denver Jacobs showing that he has the afterburners, tremendous pace, and look at the determination in the young left winger. He'll remember this try for years. Great score. (22-21). Who wants it more? It's been knocked on by Daniel Pienaar. So Florida with a chance now to strike back.
And there we go. Roberts gets it out to Tino Swanepoel, who's constantly been coming into the back line. Great to see a fullback doing that. Back in field to Roberts. Uses his size. Bashes up towards the 22-meter line. Keeps the ball in hand. Good recycling. Maguire caught with ball in hand. Are they going to hold him up? He's down to ground, and it's a penalty.
That's unfortunate there from Daniel Pienaar. The defense was great there, really putting pressure on Maguire. And it'll be interesting to see. They're going to go for goal here. Just interested in taking the points.
Swanepoel, no surprises there. He's taken over the kicking duties. With Boyson off the field. Daniel Pienaar not releasing the player, conceding the penalty. As soon as his knees touch the ground, they should have released him. Sometimes, as a defender, you can't quite tell if the player's knee has touched the ground yet. A little unfortunate, but Swanepoel, good strike. No, it's to the left. They don't take advantage of that. That would have been a real bonus with 3 points while they're down to 14 men. But still only 1 point ahead.
And look at this. Great stuff by Daniel Pienaar, and great hands as well. That looked like it's gone forward, but it's play on. And the number 10, Sashin Touring, it probably did go forward, but it doesn't matter. Daniel Pienaar take advantage. The ref wasn't in position, but he's going to consult with his touch judge.
We were in a good position there, and I called it as a forward pass. There you go.
It was still tremendous play there from Daniel Pienaar despite the forward pass, and a little bit unlucky because it was wonderful play.
Look, I feel for the player who delivered the pass. His supporting player was in front of him. He should have held back slightly, and they would have been in to the lead. But as a supporting player, you should realize being in front of the man who's going to pass you is generally not going to work out. So Florida get away with that one. And now they've got a scrum on their own 10-meter line. Looks like Boyson's back on the field. So it seems like the yellow cards are 5 minutes.
And this is challenging times for Florida as well, because it's a difficult part of the field. They're only 1 point up. What do? Do they go downtown, or do they launch an attack from inside their own half?
Well, they are 1 point ahead. I would suggest Boyson or Swanepoel possibly put the ball in either of the corners. The fullback's in the middle of the field. And if they do that, they should find space. You don't want to be caught inside your own half here, because Daniel Pienaar have shown if you give them an inch, they take a mile. Most of their backline have quick feet, tons of pace.
The set pieces have been a little bit of an issue for both sides. There's always been a reset, virtually every single time there's been a set piece. It's almost like they're hosting a little bit of a committee and a little bit of banter from the front row forwards and the rest of the forward pack.
I would also like to see the ref, unless the scrum's going down, let it go. You don't want to see dozens of resets. But there we go. Ball comes out quickly. Boyce into Swanepoel. Quick ball out. Great hands. But no. It didn't find the wing on the outside. And the ball eventually going out. Well, this is the risk they've taken. It hasn't worked out. And Daniel Pienaar now have the ball just outside the 10-meter line. Be interesting to see what they launch. They've called a short line out.
This could be trouble, but it's been turned. Florida with an opportunity now to get into the right part of the field. And there's Boyson with a kick downtown. And the fullback, Brown, has to work hard for it. And a little dab over the top, and Bosman, great collection skills there, but he's out. You get the feeling that this last 9 minutes, Brendan, is going to come down to who makes the correct decision and who can just execute under pressure.
Absolutely. Boyson taking my advice and kicking the ball downfield. It wasn't quite deep enough, giving Brown the time to collect and run the ball back. But those little chips, they can work out, but they can also give the ball away to the opposition. Good line out.
Daniel Pienaar. Can they dig deep? Beautiful run there by Bossoff. And it's a penalty. So this is a great opportunity now for Daniel Pienaar to load the pressure on Florida in these last 8 minutes.
The ball being brought down by Florida there. The ref played some advantage, but he brought it back. So now Bossoff with the left-footed kick. Should be around the 22-meter line. And a great attacking position from the boys from Uitenhage.
Well, the game's for the taking. Daniel Pienaar, mean business. They will cash in here. And first, they need a quality line out through Barnard and Cup and Cock. That's great stuff. And it's a penalty advantage. So this is great now for Daniel Pienaar. And that's a great run, but it could be a turnover here. But Daniel Pienaar have it back through Toring. He's been dangerous all game. Intercept! But we're coming back for the penalty. No advantage. And luckily for Daniel Pienaar, they did have that advantage there because Swanepoel could have gone all the way, Brendan.
Well, Swanepoel realizing that if he didn't go for the intercept there, they were in the left-hand corner. But unfortunately, they did have advantage. But they live to fight another day. And with Daniel Pienaar on attack here, you feel it could just be a matter of time.
So, they're going for the score. I think Daniel Pienaar know yeah, that if they went for the penalty and got the kick over, it wouldn't be enough to win the game with 7 minutes to go. So they're looking for that killer blow. They're looking to put the hammer down and just get over the try line and really just make a statement here, Brendan.
They want to take it out of that penalty range. Once again, well done to the way they're playing the game. Another safe line out. And looks like they're going to maul it up, but that's a good counter shove from Florida. Ball's down to ground. And it seems there's been a knock on there somewhere along the line. Accidental offside. Players running into their teammates. And that is not the way they wanted that to go.
And that's a bit of a pity because now the players will wish that they went for goal. You know, trying to show good intent by going for the corner and then just not managing to execute. And Florida, they're a little bit under the cosh at the moment. Dominated the opening 20 minutes of this fixture. and they're going to have to dig deep to close out this game. And Swanepoel, that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful clearance by the fullback.
You literally could not have kicked that better. Literally a couple centimeters out of touch. From that angle, Swanepoel has done as well as he could possibly do, and that was certainly the prudent play. 1 point ahead, get it downfield, play in the opposition half.
So Marinus Barnard, crucial throw. It's a bit of a mess. And here we go. From their own 22, and it's a loose pass, and that's not what Daniel Pienaar needed at the moment. Florida will be loving this.
I didn't see the flag go up, but it seems the replacement winger was bundled out into touch. And Florida will have an attacking throw-in at the line-out. Well, this could be the moment where Florida wrap up the match. The boys from the West Rand. Seems like Daniel Pienaar tried to almost intercept the ball there at the line-out. But the ball's gone out again. So take 2 for Florida.
Can one of the players for Florida produce some magic and close out this game for their school? Here they go. Boyson with a wonderful pass. Bosman hitting the line at pace.
Looks like it's been stolen on the ground.
It hasn't.
But it's back in Florida hands.
Florida somehow have it. Daniel Pienaar fronting up, but they're under the cosh. Boyson goes on his own. Big hit there. The replacement scrum off sends it to Roberts. The big number 12 looking for a second. Turnover ball, and yes, danger. Jacobs, he's got jet shoes. This could be absolutely unbelievable. Can you believe it? Denver Jacobs. And I'm going to say it again, good night, nurse. Wonderful stuff from the left winger.
Roberts was inches short there. He put the ball on the ground, tried to play it again. Somehow Daniel Pienaar got the ball. His opposite number, Boshoff, picked it up at the side of the ruck, did extremely well to draw 2 defenders and put Jacobs away for a 98-meter try.
We just said he'd remember his last score for the rest of his life, and now he's got 2 scores that he'll remember. But there's still 2 minutes to go. It is not over yet.
You could see the Florida boys were gutted as he was sailing down the left-hand touchline. They were so close, about to score themselves, and they've now conceded. But it's not all over. 6 points behind Florida, with almost 2 minutes to play. Vin Pomp on YouTube. Go Daniel Pienaar, Denver Jacobs, may help. For the Soties out here, that's my hero.
28 points to 22 with 90 seconds of playing time left on the clock.
Florida have to get a 7-pointer. Daniel Pienaar need to be careful. Daniel Pienaar secure the ball. They're a step away. Patience will win them the game. Florida competing well, and they've got it. Dramatic scenes at the moment here at St. John's. Anything can happen.
This is goosebump stuff. Roberts down the left-hand touchline. Florida into the 22. It's been turned over again. Daniel Pienaar with the little stab ahead. Roberts collects.
Oh,
Another
great play.
turnover.
Great play by Daniel Pienaar with 30 seconds to go, and it's a penalty. My goodness. Florida will certainly kick into the corner here. And this is telling times for both schools. What an encounter we've seen. And Daniel Pienaar are going to have to stop this massive, massive 840 kilogram engine here if they want to win this game. 6 points in it.
Now the kicker confident to go for poles there, not that it would have made a difference, of course. Kicked it out in the 22, and here we go. Grandstand finish. Looks like it was tapped back from Daniel Pienaar, and they could have it in hand. Seems like they do. Hooter's gone off. Kicked out. I think that's the game. Daniel Pienaar. Celebrate. Holding on there. Somehow they got that ball back on the line out. Florida not securing it at the line out. And wow, what a fixture.
Brendan, amazing, amazing, an amazing game. Just unbelievable what happened there. It was such a slow start from Daniel Pienaar in the opening 20 minutes, and they slowly crawled their way back into the game, and it was that man, Denver Jacobs, the blistering pace on the left wing, scored 2 magnificent tries, and this is just a great result for Daniel Pienaar, and it will carry them well into the rest of the season and when they meet Paul Ruiz in 2 days' time.
Well, as you said, Paul Ruiz with a huge victory in the earlier match. And if Daniel Pienaar can compete against the juggernaut from Stellenbosch, they'll have set themselves up for a great season. But after not having much rugby so far, they worked their way into the game after Florida's good start. And well done to the boys from Uitenhage from the Eastern Cape with a brilliant 28-22 victory. That's it for now, but keep it locked to School Sport Live. We've got lots of action coming up. Next up, Windhoek Gym versus Albans College, kicking off in the next few minutes at 6 o'clock. Hilton College versus Hoërkool Nelspruit, and the big one, the host St. John's against Help Mekaar at 7:15. Cheers for now.